Hi, welcome to the Destin Business Forum, brought to you by the Destin Area Chamber of Commerce. I'm your host, Amy Perry, and my guest today is the General Manager of Best Western Sugar Sands Inn and Suites, Brian Booth.
Yes.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
For those who don't know about, I'm going to call it the Sugar Sands Inn. Okay. For those who don't know, have never seen it, don't know where it is, tell us a little bit about it.
All right, the Best Western in Destin is located in the heart of Destin, and it was formerly a country inn and suites, and it was ran that as for about 17 years. Best Western came in and said this is going to be a prime property, a prime location for Best Western, and so it was developed into a Best Western 3 years ago. Did a full-scale renovation of the property. Over $1 million was spent on the property to get it up to Best Western standards, and we've been running as a Best Western for about 3 years now. And we have 83 guest rooms. We have an outdoor heated pool and hot tub, and we are located right in the heart of Destin, in the middle of everything. So it's 5 miles to Sandestin, 5 miles to downtown Destin. So
you are right in the middle.
Very good location, right close to Henderson Beach State Park, and so our guests love to stay where everything is centrally located. So that's what.
And you've got a lot of parking.
We do have excess parking, so we have room for boats. People come with campers and trailers, and we have ample parking. We have a nice big lot because it was one of the first buildings that was in that area.
So you get the parking.
Along with the TGI Fridays, which is no longer there now.
Right.
It's a Starbucks.
Right.
And so it's a convenient location.
Okay, so let's back up just a little bit. I want to get a little bit of history on you, and then I want to talk about kind of the evolution of Best Western, but a little bit about you. You are from Arkansas, is that right?
I am a Razorback.
Okay.
Woo pig.
All right.
We're having a tough year this year, but hopefully come out of that.
So what brought you to this area? And that sounds like such a crazy question, like anybody would want to live here, but you know, specifically, how did you decide that you wanted to live here?
Well, that is the answer to the question, and who wouldn't want to live here? But I'm from Arkansas originally and left Arkansas for upstate New York for college for 3 years, and I realized that is not where I want to spend the rest of my life because of cold weather. Yeah. The snow from November to February on the ground is just not me. I like white sand, not white snow. So moved to Kentucky for about 12 years, operated hotels there, full service property with a lot of rooms, and then decided I wanted to move somewhere where the water was near, so
yeah,
it
warmer.
called to me, warm weather, ocean or Gulf, whatever you want to call it. I know that locals have that debate all the time, but
water.
Yes, and so that's why I'm here.
All right. So you came with a lot of experience when you came into the Destin Sugar Sands. I'm trying to think of how to say this.
25 years of it, actually. I started in maintenance and worked my way up through it. Went to college for hotel and restaurant, and so.
And in the previous interview, I love hearing that somebody started at one point and then just progressed through the company, either like laterally or up. But I like that. I think that says a lot about the company. That if you stayed with them for that long, there must be something right with it. Sure. Or the industry, if you just stayed in the industry but went to different companies. So for my question about Best Western, several years ago, if somebody said, oh, let's stay at the Best Western, I might say, well, is it one that you've specifically stayed at that you know about? Because as we were talking before, I don't know if there was consistency with the product. And you said that there's been a big movement towards...
Big shift in quality assurance as far as Best Western, the brand, goes. I've worked with Best Western in previous life 15 years ago as a general manager of property. And when I would go to different places, it would be an inconsistent experience. And what Best Western did over the last 5 or so years is enforce standards to be higher. So they instituted property improvement plans for all those subpar Best Westerns, and they could choose to do it or not do it. And then they could maintain a Best Western or become a Best Western Plus or Best Western Premier, and they trying to differentiate the types of properties, because before it was one Best Western, and there were nicer ones and lower ones. And so they differentiated their brand, and they've also added some other properties as well.
Okay, which it helps customers, potential customers, know what they're getting, because that's what you want to know. You know, I don't have any familiarity with hotels in Iowa. I don't even know if you're in Iowa, but you know what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Tell me the different levels. You mentioned a Premier and
Okay, so what Best Western did about 4 years ago is they've added the Sure Stay by Best Western and Sure Stay Plus, and that's kind of the lower tier. Then you have the Best Western Plus, and Best Western Premier. And so you kind of can pick one of the levels that you want to stay at, and typically the Best Westerns are less expensive. Best Western Premier are going to be in a premier location, premier property, premier rooms, so it's going to cost you more. So it's kind of a different. The hotel market has they've all been going to different differentiators, and Best Western finally did that. So
okay, all right.
They've also added a few other brands as well. Executives Residency, which is extended stay property, and then they have Glow, which is a new boutique type hotel, and they're just starting to open those, and Vibe as well.
That's why it takes me so long when I get on the computer to make a hotel reservation, because there are so many choices.
So many options.
There really are. Okay, so that's what Best Western, the company, did to tell the potential customers about their hotels. The people that stay there also report on different sites and stuff how their experience was, and one big one is TripAdvisor.
Exactly.
And what is your Best Western?
We are currently in the top 10 in Destin, which is a very notable for a Best Western to be up in with the nicer properties in Destin. So we have maintained very good customer relations with our customers. Our employees are very friendly, outgoing, and that's kind of differentiates us from the different properties in the area. So.
And that's people that actually stay there reporting that. So I put a lot of weight on that. And I guess everybody else does too.
Yeah, so they report their experience, and they tell everybody else how their experience is going to be.
Yeah.
And so we're very proud of that.
Yeah, you should be. That's a good thing. Okay, I have all my questions, answers to all my questions. Did I leave anything out?
Well, I just wanted to say that we're so very fortunate to live in the community that we do here in Destin. And if you're visiting here in Destin, it's a very great town. And whenever we decided we were going to move to Destin, we did a 3-week tour around the different coastal areas. Started in Gulf Shores and did Pensacola, Fort Walton, and Destin, and then Panama City, and then went over to the Atlantic side and did Jacksonville Beach and Fort Lauderdale, and then over to Naples and Tampa. So we did the whole whole tour, and we saw Destin as we drove across the Destin Bridge here. And we're like, wow, this is beautiful, and this is where I would like to be. And that was kind of the beginning of our trip, and then we circled back to Destin.
Oh, I love hearing stories like that.
And then it stuck with us,
It does. I mean, the sand, the water, it just, everybody that comes here to visit us, they're like, you get to live here?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it's not all play, but yeah, it's a beautiful place.
Great place to be.
Thank you for coming. Come back, okay?
Thanks for having me.
All right. We'll be back.